Dear children, we will proceed to our next lesson, that is 2.2, a true story of sea turtles. Children, this is a write-up which highlights how a group of volunteers undertook a project for the protection and conservation of turtles and their nests in Maharashtra, and how they involved the local villagers in the project. So, children, basically, this is like the sea turtles were becoming extinct. Like the number of sea turtles in India was reducing so rapidly that it was believed that in few years there will be very less number of sea turtles left in India. So that were the species which were extinct or about to be extinct or were very less in numbers, and so measures were taken to preserve the species or to preserve the sea turtles so that the number of sea turtles increases and the sea turtles do not get they do not get extinguished. They still continue to be on the be in India. So basically, sea turtles are found in the were found in the Konkan area, region, and in that region, these sea turtles were killed. Even their eggs were stolen and they were sold in the market. And because of that, the number of sea turtles remaining was reducing, or the number of sea turtles was reducing very rapidly, and those were about to be an endangered species. So. Um, and therefore it was the importance was given for the protection and conservation of these sea turtles. So this chapter highlights that this chapter is or this write up is written by a very famous person who is very much engaged into this conservation of wild animals, or rather conservation of animals. um, uh, his name is Bhau Kadhare, and if you search on Google or if you search on YouTube, you'll find quite a few projects which he has undertaken. The latest project which he had undertaken was the vultures in the um, Konkan region. So about the vultures, was working recently. That was his latest project, and he is called as a Nisarga Mitra. He is a part of the organization called as Nisarga Mitra. So as the name suggests, Nisarga is nature and Mitra is friend. So a friend of the nature. So he has devoted his life to the conservation and protection of the nature, or the animals and birds and animals in the nature. So he has worked mostly on the Sahyadri region. So he is associated with the Sahyadri Nisarga Mitra. Now we are going to in this chapter we are going to discuss about the project he took up in the Sahyadri region relating to the turtle conservation and protection of the turtles. So it is a very beautiful chapter, it is a very interesting chapter. We do not know much about the animals, but when we read this chapter we will understand that like we human beings, although we have the power of thinking and we are supposed to be the most developed animal on the earth, still how we behave or how insensitive we are towards the animals, and how we misuse our strength or our capacity of the brain to think. So how we misuse that, or how foolishly we behave at times. Sometimes it is knowingly, sometimes it is unknowingly, because we do lack knowledge. So in a positive spirit we can take this chapter as our as to add on the information to our personal knowledge, and we can also give our contribution, not at least by stopping such things which which harms the nature, and we can always mm, contribute towards the protection of the nature, or by causing less harm to the nature or not causing harm to the nature. So that wise also we can look at this chapter. Let us begin with the chapter. Children, on the first page, that is the page number 30 of your textbook, there are four pictures given in the first question, like warming up activities. It says, observe the following photographs. What is common among all these animals? They are all endangered species. Endangered means very few number of these species are left, and if we do not take proper care, or if we do not take some measures, within a very less time these all species will not remain on the earth thereafter. Like they are very endangered, they are very less in number, about to extinct or about to finish. They are likely to die out completely, one of the reasons being human activity in their habitat. If these animals could think and speak like humans, what would they say? So here the writer wants us to think that if the animals were also able to think like human beings and speak what they feel, what do you think these animals would have to say? So for that, the first picture is of a tiger. The second above picture, sorry, so this picture is of a tiger. This is a monkey, you can find out, and this is an Indian wild dog, and this is the picture of whale. Okay, so what the poet was what the writer has to say further is that you are supposed to prepare short autobiographical speeches for each of these animals, like 10 to 15 lines. Each of the following points, use the following points. How the animals live, that's the only way he or she can. Or where do they live, how do they live. So like a tiger lives in a tropical evergreen forest. Then a monkey um, stays on the monkey lives on the trees or in the jungle. Then these Indian wild dog, it lives in it lives only in Asia, in the mountainous regions, generally in the forested areas. Then the whales are the aquatic mammals, animal or mammals. So they are the largest animal on the earth, and so they live in the ocean, or they live in the ocean. So you can also write how he interacts with nature and other animals. So do they interact with the nature or other animals? So you can write basically their characteristics, like about a about a tiger. You can write that it lives in tropical evergreen forest. It eats different types of prey, mostly other large animals. And why do human hunt them, or why do humans harm them? So human beings hunt them for their skin and destroy their habitat. So basically human beings are destroying the jungles because of the greed of land, and building having more constructions on the land, so they are occupying more and more of forest regions, and particularly they are harming or hunting the tigers for their skin. Okay, so that is what you can write um, about the tiger. Then about the monkey, you can write that it is basically a herbivorous animal. It eat fruit, seeds, roots, bark, cereals, etc. It is found mostly in Asia, and it is friendly and comes close to human habitats. um, in demand for It is very much in demand for research programs, because it is quite similar, or it is quite close to the humans in behavior. And so it is used um, for the research purposes, you can say. And it is an intelligent animal. And you can also um, write for each and every animal that it is very important to save these animals, because they are an important part of the ecosystem. You all know, children, ecosystem, like one life is dependent on the other life is dependent on the still next other another life. So each one is some or the other way dependent on each other. So if the balance of the nature is disturbed, or it is not balanced rather, then we might face a lot of problem. So if we compare, or if we see that because of this pandemic or because of this lockdown, there are so many changes in the nature. If you have seen the news, we can see that there is so much of, like, nature has really regenerated itself. Like the rivers which are flowing with more clearer water, with more pure water. Then the animals, or the water animals, or the population is increasing, because the activities of fishing were stopped. Then because of the lockdown, there was less pollution. So overall we can see that there was a very drastic change in the nature. So that is how it we can say that that is this indicates that we human beings, being more supposed to be more knowledgeable and supposed to be more intelligent, but still we harm the nature the most. So if we stop on our individual level also, if we stop harming the nature to some extent, we with a very small contribution, we can definitely contribute quite a large to the to nature. And we should not do this for anyone, or for the nation, for the country. That is like, if we do it, it is going to be for the nation, for the other people as well. But what we should basically do it is for our own betterment. So I think if we implement all these things, and if we see that how nature regenerates himself or itself, if um, we do not cause harm to it, so it is very important that we do not destroy any of the natural things. So that is how, if you answer all these small bullets, um, you will be able to write the autobiographical speeches, like what those animals must be feeling. If we step into their shoes, we can find out what these animals must be thinking. So whatever you feel, you can write in just 10 to 15 lines. So let us now move ahead to our story. So here the writer says that we have been surveying a wide-bellied sea eagle in the summer that year. So they were on a survey of for the white-bellied sea eagles in during that summer, during that year. As we roamed the coasts, one of the volunteers in our team saw some shallow pits with white egg shells nearby. So when they were moving around on the coasts of that area, of that region, so one of their volunteer came across a shallow pit. Shallow means which is not really deep, and in that shallow pit there was a shallow, or very not very deep hole, and in that hole he saw some egg shells. Enquiries with the villagers revealed that they were turtle eggs. So when they asked that what these shells were of, or who what eggs these were, they came to know that those were the eggs of the turtles. This came as a surprise. We had never came across turtle eggs in our walks along the beaches of Konkan in all these years. So this was a very big surprise for them. They were very surprised to see that, because they had been working in the Konkan area, that is the coastal area, for quite a long years, but never they had come across such turtle eggs. So they were very surprised to see, because that was a novelty for them. And so we learned that we decided to study this unusual occurrence further. So because of curiosity, they decided that they will study this um, happening, or this occurrence. And they were like kind of more interested in knowing more about the sea turtles. We learned that the beach where we had found the eggshells had been sealed to the public for nearly 1 month. After people smuggling, silver bricks were caught in that area. But what we learned further shocked us to the core. So they said that they came to know, when they inquired with the people, the local people, they came to know that that area was sealed. That area, now you all children must be knowing the meaning of sealed very nicely, because during this pandemic, if a COVID positive person is found in any of the society or any of the area, that area is sealed. So that area is restricted from the entry, so no one can go in or go out of that, from that particular area. So similarly, this area was also sealed for the public, and no one was allowed to go in that area or come out of the area. So basically this was coast. So there's no question of someone coming out, no one was staying there, so no one was allowed to go to the coast, and this area was restricted for almost a month. And why was it restricted? It was restricted um, because they had caught people who were smuggling silver bricks in that area. But when they inquired further, when they did a lot of inquiry with the people, local people there, they came to know that the fact was, or what they came to know, or what they learned from them, was still shocking to the core. Means they were totally shocked from their very inner heart. That news was still more shocking, as in.